this is the time of opportunity or challenge for business owners or the decision makers. Now the situation, if we are reading newspapers or news channels every day, that socio-economic things are changing because of
In the past, the information was available only to some institutions, selected people.
yes.
Right now, the information is available to everybody instantly. So that is why a lot of everybody the technology has overtaken a lot of processes and it's become easy.
Welcome to DC Consultants podcast, the real talk with industry leaders, where we talk about business, career, hiring, and the future of work.
I think still companies do that. Degrees, and but see, the thing is that degrees are only good for an entry level.
I'm excited to welcome Mr. Rajnish Mehan, the Chief Executive Director and the Investment Strategist at Prudent Asset. One skill that will always stay relevant in finance.
I'll say decision making.
From market to hiring and business growth. This is going to be a very interesting conversation. So, Mr. Rajnish, really great to have you here today. Wrong hiring decisions don't just cost salary, they cost growth. Welcome to DC Consultants podcast, the real talk with industry leaders, where we talk about business, career, hiring, and the future of work. If you have ever wondered where the big opportunity is coming from, especially in the world of finance, then this conversation is for you. I'm excited to welcome Mr. Rajnish Mehan, the Chief Executive Director and the Investment Strategist at Prudent Asset. He is someone who is not just managing investment, but also helping people and business to think about growth, risk, and long-term decisions. From market to hiring and business growth. This is going to be a very interesting conversation. Welcome, Rajnish ji. It's really great to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Really means a lot for us that you are here today to give your insights to my audience in the prospect of finance and hiring and the overall growth in the industry and the market. So I'd like to straight away, come to the podcast and the discussion related to the finance industry. So my question to you, sir, how has the finance industry evolved in last decade till this age, till now?
So I would say two things. One is, democratization of finance. If you see, in the past, the information was available only to some institutions, selected people.
Yes.
Right now, the information is available to everybody, instantly.
Yes.
So that is one, so that is why a lot of, everybody is participating now in the markets.
Okay.
Second, I would say is technology. That technology has, overtaken a lot of processes and it's become, easy. For investors to invest in the markets and all. So I would say these two things have really changed in last decade.
Great. Yeah. So now the situation, if we are reading newspapers or news channels every day, that socio-economic things are changing because of turbulence in international market. So what do you think? This is the time of opportunity or this is the time of challenge for business owners or the decision makers?
The challenge is always, obviously there, but, the opportunities arises from these types of, challenges as uncertainties. So we have seen in the past also, COVID had happened, so a lot of, sectors emerged from there. So I think it's a challenge, but then opportunities emerge from, these type of volatilities in the markets.
So do you think this kind of situation create better decision making or better humans?
Yes, definitely. See what happens is whenever the markets are stable, so everybody will perform better. But whenever the markets are volatile like this, so that time real leaders emerge from there. So real companies emerge from there because they want to cut their costs. They learn in this type of environment, how to cut the cost, how to make use of the capital, in a better way. So it's always,
So hardship creates better leaders,
leaders.
better decision makers,
Decision-making,
and make
right.
the business more strong. If they survive in this period, they
then they
become
last.
strong.
Yeah. You
in
see,
the
like,
longer.
example of Indigo, if you see the
Yes.
airline industry was affected during type of COVID. So 2-3 airlines got shut. But like, if the management was good, they have the, adaptability. So then you emerge from there.
Exactly. So, considering the current scenario, what kind of manpower the business owners, decision makers, and the investors are thinking would be, hired in this kind of situation?
See, as I told you, the technology is giving you all the information, is everything is available, but that human touch is always required. So I would say people, or students or people who have, very good relationship skills, okay, and risk management, is, they will be much, in demand.
Okay.
Because in these types you need also to control human behavior.
Yes.
Because clients panic when the markets comes down, and so you need a human touch where you have to explain them the risk management tools and all. So that's why I would say human touch के लिए, relationship skills के लिए, you need people who have better communication skills, better risk management skills, and who can handle the clients in these types uncertainty.
So who can handle human beings in a better way?
Yeah.
Say
human behavior, you can
human
say.
behavior in a better way, those persons would be successful
Yeah.
in this kind of situation.
Yeah, because see, technology is going to do 80% of the jobs of finance, whether it is research, whether it is, finding which stocks to invest in, where to do the asset allocation, all that technology will do. But handling the client, okay, will always be, scarcity. That you need a human for that.
Okay, so understanding
the client behaviors, understanding the client psychology, that is very much important.
Yes, great. Yeah. So when we think about hiring in finance today, what kind of candidate you will really bet on?
So I would bet on a candidate which, has, as I told you, which have good relationship management skills. I would look for a candidate, where it's not about skills, it's about behavior. Okay, then I would also look at, whether they have the learning skills. See, I mean, technology wise or information they will get, but then they should have that, thing in them to learn. If I am teaching, so they should not be lacking. That is another thing. And I think another I would add is that taking accountability, of whatever jobs have been given to them, they should be accountable.
Okay, learning and accountability
is very much important.
Yeah. Do you think companies still over-index degrees and certificate and under-index the judgment and the adaptability?
I think still, companies do that. Degrees. And, but see, thing is that degrees are only, good for an entry level. Okay. If you see, you to get a first job, you need that. And obviously you need degrees for, basic fundamental knowledge. And, but the judgment that will come from experience, that will come from, the human being, how the person is. Then the integrity, the culture, all that will come, not by the degrees. The judgment, as you mentioned, that all will come by a human and with experience.
Yes.
So degrees, doesn't support that.
So true. So skills are more important, which they gather day by day with experience rather than the degree.
Right.
Yes, completely. Right. According to you, what is the costly hiring mistake companies does in finance roles?
So I would say one is hiring very fast, because see what happens is that every company has a different culture. So if you, just because there is a need and you hire fast, and then after 3 months, 6 months, you realize, that the candidate is not gelling with the, culture of the organization environment. So that becomes, little difficult. And next I would also say is that, you have to see whether the, candidate that you are recruiting, okay, whether he or she has the, capability to learn. Okay, because see, organizations I mean, the colleges, as we mentioned, degrees, they just teach you the basics.
Hmm.
Okay. After that, when you go in live in the market, okay, so that time there are a lot of skills that are required. So the company will be able to or ready to teach you, but then you should be able to have that, in you to grasp those things.
Okay, yeah, great, nice. So, if you are building a team today, you will be hiring for stability, like people who are looking for a stable and long-term growth with you, or a candidate who is very aggressive and always looking to achieve the target and grow.
See, I would say, I would look for a balance between both. See, because what happens is that, too much aggression, also creates instability. Okay, so for a stable, but if it is too much stable, then, there'll be no growth. So you need a balance, of both. Stability is required at the, and volatile times. Okay, and when there is an opportunity, that time you need aggression. So balance is always better.
Stability and aggression and achievement, hunger to grow is also required.
Yeah, hunger is required, I said, but you also need, stability in that. So I would say a balance is always better.
Yeah, great. Truly agree. The young professionals who are entering in finance market today, what they should do, what advice you will give them for their 3 to 5 years journey at the starting of the career to stay relevant in long term in this industry?
See, I would say first thing that you need is to build strong fundamentals. You should focus, initial years in the learning. Okay, you have to build fundamentals, whichever, domain you are in working in finance. So you need to build strong fundamentals because once you have strong fundamentals, it will always help you, in the long term.
Grow in future.
Grow, yeah. And second, I would say is you need to build capabilities. Okay, because once you grow, there'll be a lot of, different, you will be shifted to different domains, you will have different functions to perform. So you have to build capabilities. So I would say learning, building strong fundamentals and capabilities. It should be the focus, in initial years. You should not look at the, salary jumps or shifting, just for the sake of salaries and all.
So capability, do you mean adaptability for new roles?
Yes,
and
you're right. Capability means adaptability, to various roles, various domains. So
in finance.
In finance,
okay, so that they can expect a stable growth year on year in the learning as well as
because
learning.
As I told, technology, is changing a lot of things. So if you are not adaptable, to the changes that is happening in the industry, then you will not survive for long.
I know, yeah, completely agree. Yes. Now it's the age of artificial intelligence, right? So with AI in the picture, do you think what kind of things will be more relevant? Like it would be artificial intelligence mastery or the human thought process or the human qualities in an employee or a finance professional?
So I'd say obviously human qualities I would rate. See, technology is obviously evolving and taking over things and all, but a human touch is always required. Because all the technology, whatever information technology is providing, is there with the clients.
Yes.
With the investors also. Okay, but the risk management, the behavior, how to handle the client's behavior at the times, so that all you need a human touch.
Strong
human touch, human capabilities is always required. I would prefer that because as I told you, 80% of the jobs technology will do.
Data and everything is done by technology.
Is done by technology. So, but how do you analyze that data and how to handle the client and to give that proper information to the client? That obviously a human will be doing.
Exactly.
So if a human has good communication skills, good relationship management skills, and he can handle the client's behavior very well, that will be much in demand.
But I think strategy and interpersonal skills are more relevant in today's era than that technology mastery.
Yeah, interpersonal skills is always preferred. That is true across industries,
across
not
the
even
industries. Yes, great. So as the industry is changing rapidly, which roles or skills you think in finance industry would be relevant in next 5 years?
So I would say wealth management, financial planning, these are the skills which will be always preferred because the Indian economy is growing, a lot of wealth is being created. So, you need wealth managers to, handle this. As we discussed in the past, that the data availability is anyways there. Everybody has that, availability. But to handle the clients, you need to know, to make their financial plans, okay, to handle their wealth, because these wealthy peoples are busy in their day-to-day sales. They have to run the companies. Okay, so you need somebody to handle their portfolios, manage and do a proper asset allocation. You have to handle their insurance, wills, retirement planning. So all these skills, I think, related to financial planning, which is insurance planning or retirement planning, will writing. So all these will be
Remain
more in
relevant.
demand.
Remain relevant in next 5 years.
Yeah, next 5, I would say next 10 years also.
Oh, acha, great. So India is creating growth story in all the segments, all the industries. In finance industry, what kind of growth is happening? Just share your perspective.
So I would say biggest growth that is happening in India is the financialization of savings. See, because if you see in the past, the savings, like people were investing in FDs, they were investing in gold a little bit or in real estate. So financialization of savings have changed that. Now people have started investing, in mutual funds, in stocks directly. They're looking at different, options for investing. So that has changed. I mean, if you see, 5-7 years back, I mean, there were 3 crore demat accounts. Today we have over 15 crore demat accounts.
Okay.
So that is there. Even mutual funds, if you see, has grown at 18 to 20% CAGR. Now today we are at 82 lakh crores of mutual fund AUM. Okay, so financialization of savings, I would say, is the
Lots
biggest
of
change.
options are available, and which people are taking.
The industry is because of financialization. I mean, see, the finance industry has grown, expanded.
Yes.
We had never heard of wealth management industry. Part of finance. We had never heard of financial planning as a career.
Yes.
So wealth management, financial planning, all these careers have come up because of the financialization of savings.
Okay. So we are growing in this aspect, and lots of new opportunities we are creating, including jobs in the executive.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, financial advisory, wealth management, financial planning, a lot of jobs have been created,
really
because
nice,
of this.
Yes. So India is growing. Lots of new segments has emerged. So are we building right kind of talent who would be employable in these roles, in these sectors?
So I think we have come a long way, but I would say still there are gaps, available, and because it's said that technology has evolved very fast. They've made a lot of changes. So based on that, if you see the curriculums in universities, they have not adapted them so fast. So always there is a gap. What the industry needs and what the college graduates, what we are getting from the college graduates. So that gap is always there. So I would say that the campuses, colleges, and all, they should be focusing more on the skill set required in the industry. Give them practical knowledge, increase more of internships and all. So once they do more practical knowledge with the industry alignment and do, so I think the gap will get filled up.
Okay, so any specific kind of course you suggest, or only the internship with the company would create better talent or bridge the gap?
No, I'd say courses like, as I told you, like if you go to a lot of colleges, like I go and teach also at some colleges. So if you see, there is no course of wealth management over there. The industry lighting, there is no subject of financial planning over there. So even if it is there, it's just basic. Just a chapter will be there or there. But I would say that they should have a special modules of wealth management, financial advisory, financial planning, whatever industry needs.
Yeah.
Now, how to handle human behavior, for example, behavioral science. That is never taught.
Exactly.
But as I told you, technology has taken over. So now behavior, finance, handling client is a very, very big thing which is required now.
Okay.
So that the colleges are not still teaching.
Yeah. Really, really good inputs and insight on this segment. Yeah, thank you so much. When it's the question of hiring for your team, what are the 2 qualities you will look for while you are hiring, and what are the 2 red flags you would like to avoid?
Say, first is accountability, ownership is what I would look for, and second is learning mindset. The companies would always teach, but then you should have a mindset to learn.
Okay.
So that is one, and then you should be able to take the ownership.
And red flags?
And red flag, I would say, is dishonesty. Integrity is very, very important. To fit in the culture of the company. So I would say first will be learning mindset. The companies will be ready to teach you. Okay, but you should have a mindset. To learn.
Yes.
And second, I would say is taking ownership. Because if I tell somebody to do something, you need to take the ownership. You should be accountable for that. I should not be repeating things that you have to be done.
And the red flags?
And red flags, I would say, is one is integrity. We don't like dishonest people. Whatever is there, you should speak the truth. And second, I would say, is the opposite of ownership, that you should. We don't want candidates who lack accountability or who don't take ownership.
So how would you judge integrity from an interview?
So integrity, when you're talking to the clients, we get from the interview wise. It's difficult. So sometimes we can judge because on your CV something else is written, and when you're answering, you're talking something else, or whatever you have mentioned in your CV. And when I ask you questions on that, and you are not able to answer. Okay, so some candidates say that I have done an internship here. Okay, so this is what I learned. That is written in the CV. But when I ask questions on that, so I don't get honest answers.
Exactly.
So there you can judge.
You can judge a bit from the interview. Yes. So Rajnish ji, now there is a rapid fire for you. You have to answer in only one word with all the questions. Okay, so I'll start. One skill that will always stay relevant in finance.
Let's say decision making.
Okay, great. Decision making. One habit that creates a long-term success.
Consistency.
One hiring mistake companies should avoid.
Hiring fast.
Data or instinct?
I would say instinct comes with experience. The data everybody has, but you need with experience you need instinct.
Great. Rajnish ji, thank you so much for your insight today. We are at the last phase of the conversation. So I would like to request you to give a message to the audience who are listening today. Please share your message for the business owners and the job seekers who are my audience here.
Sure. See, I would say technology is evolving very fast. Business owners and candidates, they need to be more adaptable. They need to build their capabilities and focus on learning. I would say become more valuable than being more successful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your message, Rajnish ji. It's really great to have you here today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
So what stands out is very simple. So growth today is not just about opportunity. It's about people and decision behind. And to everyone listening, whether you are building a business or a career, your success will always depend on how well you learn, adapt, and choose the right people. This is DC Consultants Podcast, the real talk with industry leaders. See you in the next episode.